Welcome to Tech Talks with Rob Brown, and as usual, I'm delighted to have with me today consultant to accounting firms worldwide on strategy and digital technology, Jeremy Hyman. Jeremy, talk to us about this new world that we are in, and there's a new working from home blended. Do we go back to the office? Do we stay where we are? What are your thoughts on that?
I think we've all got very used to working from anywhere now, really, and some of us have developed a bit of a taste for it, and some of us yearn to be back in the office. And in fact, I see across the clients that we advise that the firms tend to have a particular flavor around them. So some firms are very much, we need to be in the office. That's where we work best, and some are much more relaxed about it. We see a definite variation.
Yeah, and we can't always assume, can we, that the client wants something different or the same as us, because what works for them might not work for us and vice versa.
Absolutely right. I mean, if you think about it, let's say, you're advising a high net worth but slightly older individual, they may feel considerably more at risk coming to your office than just staying at home. And I think that the golden rule here of client service is to adapt to what your client wants to do. And now that we've opened Pandora's box, and now that we've shown people that not every meeting has to be in the office or in somebody's home, but it can be any mix of the above, and anyone can be anywhere, I think we need to leverage that really and make sure that we deliver service the way our clients want to receive it.
Yeah, and we do have the technology that enables that now, don't we?
Yeah, funnily enough, one of the technology challenges for firms will be blended operations. So at the moment, with everyone remote, it's quite easy. You log into your Zoom session or Teams or whatever it is that you're going to use, and provided you can prevent every delivery driver arriving during the meeting, which is quite hard, it works well. I don't even know where you are. Half the time, I don't know where I am. And it doesn't really matter. The challenge will be when there are 6 people sitting around a boardroom table, a client maybe sitting with one co-director elsewhere, another individual just on a Zoom session. And I do think that firms will have to up their game a little bit in the technology they deploy in their boardrooms to make that situation work well.
Yeah.
Because for sure, there will be these blended meetings happening.
Is blended another word for hybrid, Jeremy?
Yeah, blended, hybrid. Any word will do. But what I mean by it, at least, I can't define it for everyone, is the ability for everyone from wherever they are to participate, collaborate, work together in a meeting.
Yeah. And you talk mostly about technology and strategy, but we can't ignore culture here. It is hard to drive culture and shape the values of a firm remotely, isn't it?
It's enormously difficult, and maybe it's the biggest challenge that firms face. You used to go up to a junior member of staff or a new starter or whatever, and you could have a casual word. And I think the thing that's changed most with use of Teams and Zoom is there is very little spontaneous interaction. There's plenty of scheduled interaction, but the spontaneity is somewhat reduced.
Yeah,
I think that's certainly the case.
And finally, Jeremy, what questions do you ask firms when they are thinking about where do we go with our strategy of working from home or hybrid? What does that look like? How do you help them?
We talk about the use cases that they anticipate. So we say, where do you think you will have to work, and how do you expect to deliver the services that you do? And then really you look at the service lines within the firm and work out a solution for each. So what payroll might need is entirely different from a tax consultant, is entirely different from a management accountant. And you really have to look at each of those. And some of those service lines are much better adapted to it already. So the audit team didn't even know where the office was in the first place. They're always on site.
Yeah.
Payrollers tend to always be in the office. So you've got a couple of kind of set ways that are going to happen, and then almost all points in between.
But just finally, there's a lot at stake here, isn't there? Accounting firms cannot afford to get these big decisions wrong, because you're taking the whole firm down a particular route here.
You're spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're setting your path for the next 3 to 5 years. You really do not want to get it wrong. And it is easy to be led by vendors on this one, who will all tell you that they have the best solution. So having a bit of market experience, seeing what other firms have done and what's worked and has not worked, is certainly an ingredient in the recipe for success.
Yeah, very good. And all the more reason to get some impartial strategic advice from yourself.
I hadn't thought of that, but yes.
Thank you, Jeremy. We'll see you on the next edition of Tech Talks.